What's going on YouTube? Today we're making wall art, or in this case maybe fence art. You get the idea. If you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, let's get right into it. Okay, so what I got here is a 4 foot by 2 foot coffee table mold. I have it divided in half. On the right hand side I got a hollow tree stump that I'm filling with resin. There's already a video out for that. And on the left is of course our wall art piece. I got the bottom lined with a 2 foot by 2 foot piece of plywood, spray painted black, and I got all these little tree cookies glued into place. And here I am filling in the voids with some tabletop resin using a combination of Carolina Blue and Ninja Black from Eye Candy Pigments. And here I am getting the bubbles. Alright, forgive the fan in the background creating a little bit of noise. So all of our resin's dried. I got, I don't know, maybe somewhere between, probably a little over 1/4 inch of resin. Got it up here on the router sled, and we're gonna go ahead and cut all this stuff off and basically get it flush with the resin, and then we'll go on to the next step. So this is a slab flattening mill from woodpeckers that I use. Works real well to flatten out everything. These cookies are kind of a real pain in the ass to cut on a bandsaw or really anything else, so this seems to work the best for just flattening everything out and making everything level. Here I am using a track saw, just trimming off the edges, trying to get everything flush. Sometimes things don't come out of the mold perfectly, and once I get one good straight edge, I'm going ahead and just squaring up everything, making sure everything's neat and clean and looks the way it's supposed to. Now on to sanding. This end grain maple is ridiculously hard, so there's probably about an hour of my life to get this just right. Alright, I'm getting these other tree cookies ready for the 3-dimensional pieces that sit on top. I'm trying to get the bottoms flat so that everything sits flush when I glue them into place. I'm using a joiner for this. I wouldn't recommend this unless you have a helixal head, and I have the blade set to cut basically as shallow as possible. And now I'm putting them on this belt sander, just trying to clean up everything and smooth out any imperfections that there might have been. Alright, now I'm trying to get the bark off. Hammer and chisel seems to work pretty well for these pieces. Once I get those off, then we'll go ahead and switch over to a grinder just to clean the pieces up a little better, make them look a little nicer. So that's what I'm doing here. Try not to drop the pieces like I do. And if you're holding it in your hand, watch what you're doing, because that grinding wheel gets your attention real quick if it hits your skin. Here I am just mixing up a little bit of tabletop resin. A couple of these cookies, as you can see, have a few cracks in them, so we're just going to go ahead and fill those in with resin, using the same colors that I used on the main piece. And now that that's done, I got some 5-minute epoxy. I'm just covering the bottoms of these little cookies and gluing them into place. Obviously, it's totally up to you where and how you want to put these. And now we have it back on the slab flattening mill. Basically what I have to do is 1 by 1 for each one of these cookies, just slowly go back and forth and get it flush and level. And the idea is when I'm done, each one of these little cookies is going to be a different height, so you'll have a nice 3-dimensional effect. And as you can see here, after each pass, basically I have to readjust the router bit to cut a little deeper for the next pass, and this has to be done for every one of these little cookies until each one is flat and level. And you can see here we're finally getting some progress, almost done, just a couple left. And just when you thought we were done, we're not. We have more sanding to do. Got to sand the top of each one of these. Sometimes the router sled or the router bit leaves some lines in the wood, so got to go ahead and get all of those out. However, here is the actual last step. Putting some mineral oil on it, making things shine, clean things up a little bit. Once this dries, like most of my products, I'll go ahead and buff in some Odie's oil. And we're done.